So I'm having a chat with Joesef. How are you?
I'm okay, mate. How are you? How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, not too bad. Thanks so much. So it's a bit of a busy week for you because you have your debut record coming out. Tell us a little bit about what people can expect to hear from the release.
Well, I wrote this album over the space of like a year and a half. I would call it a breakup album. It's just kind of like about my experiences with this one person and how I've kind of been changed by it all, and sort of like trying to be comfortable with the person that I've became as a result of it. But it's sort of like a mixture of genres. I would say so. Like, well, people have said it is. I think it's just kind of like all the music I've listened to since I was a kid, just kind of seeping out in some form or another. But quite guitar based. Hopefully people can make up their own mind about what they think it is. But I can't really put it into a box.
Yeah, good. And you've released a few singles from the record. The latest is Just Come Home With Me Tonight, which is what we've been playing and we'll probably play straight after this interview as well. Tell us a little bit about that track.
I wrote that tune in Glasgow, and it's about I went to an after party or something like that. I think it was like 4 in the morning or something, and I met my ex there for the first time. I hadn't seen them for a couple of months, and I think I started to realise that they were seeing somebody else. And I think when you break up with somebody and it's like your ex, you see them out, there's always a kind of like unspoken, like emotional tether between the two of you. But I just felt like that wasn't there anymore, and I was just completely like devastated at the fact that it was like, it felt like there was a line under the relationship sort of thing. So it's basically just a bit like noticing that and then just wanting kind of one last night together. Bit of a Desperado song, but it was, at least I got a good tune out of it, I think. So.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you've released a couple of EPs prior to this record. How do they compare in comparison to the record that you've got out this week?
Well, my EPs, I was just recording in my bedroom by myself. So it was very much like no compromise, just everything I said went sort of thing. But then when I moved to London to make the record and started working with another producer, Barney Lister, we just kind of put our heads together and tried to do the best we could. But it's so hard. Making an album is so bloody hard. It's hard. But it's like also the most, because it's so difficult, that when you get to the other side of it, it's the most satisfying, like creatively, I've ever been in my entire life. I'm very proud of it. Like, I can stand behind it completely and just say that I love it. But the process is very differently, especially just adding it in the mix somewhere else that I've never had somebody else in the mix to like bounce ideas off it. It's just more fun with somebody else. I think sometimes it's quite isolating when you're by yourself in your bedroom, sitting in your boxers or your guitar plugged into your laptop. It's not really like, there's not a lot of giggles involved there. It's definitely a more fun kind of satisfying experience in album making process.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, later this week, you will be doing some in-stores, some launch parties, bits and pieces to support the record. How do you cater your sets for what you're doing this week compared to when you're out on tour?
I mean, it's stripped back, like the in-stores are really stripped back, but I think my kind of mantra has always been, when I'm writing songs, to only write them on the guitar, so that there's kind of no hiding. Like, I feel like you can't really, a song's good when it's just you and the guitar. So I think it's not really been a problem to kind of translate them into a kind of stripped back set, and I love doing stuff like that. Like, I love kind of being able to see the people a bit more and talk to them after the show and stuff. And so it's definitely a quieter affair than my shows, because I feel like my shows are a bit hectic for what the music is. People are like taking their t-shirts off, and it's a Larry affair, especially in Glasgow, man. Jesus, it's like a club night. It's quite very different, but it's both equally like fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, later this year, you're back out doing some full touring. You've got some supports across the UK and Europe coming up. I bet you can't wait to be back on the road again.
I'm excited to see everybody and play the album live, man. We've been rehearsing it. It sounds good. So I'm very excited to just take it to faraway lands, playing a big like UK one, big EU, and I'm hopefully going to get to like go to America and stuff like that. And I'd love to play like Japan or something like that. But I just see where the wind takes me.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I'm sure you'll be touring throughout the start of this year and towards the end, and obviously in between we've got festivals. Are you hoping to be on the festival circuit again this year?
Definitely, man. I've got high hopes for the festival season, and I love to I've done like Reading and Leeds and stuff like that last year, and it was just it was so much fun, man. It was so much fun, and I'm just can't wait to get my teeth into the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Joesef, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Isn't it? Thank you. Thanks for having me.